Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I'm Joey. Today we're going to talk about a new trail camera that I just received, and it's from Campark, and it's the Campark T300. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know that I love my Campark cameras. I have the Campark T80 out at the property, which I've had out for nearly 2 years now, and it sits out 24/7 and never had a problem with it. Also have the T85 and the 86 out at the property. They have not been out as long, but again, never had a problem with them. They take excellent video, excellent pictures, and pretty good sound capture too. But today, like I said, we're going to talk about the Campark T300. And this is a very small camera. You can see it's smaller than my hand, but it's built-in solar panel. And the things we're going to go over with this camera today, we're going to go ahead and show you an unboxing today. We're going to go ahead and do the specs. We'll go over some of the specs for this camera, and then we'll go over some basic setup, and should be everything you need to get your camera going straight out of the box. So let's go ahead and dig into the unboxing. All right, so we're going to open this box up, see what's inside. Again, this is the Campark T300. I think it's listed on their site as the T150. I will definitely look into that, and I will put something in writing right here and let you know if there is a difference. So I'll go ahead and open the box. And as usual, the first thing we'll see is the manuals. We have the T300 Solar Integrated Hunting Camera. Pretty thick, so I'm guessing there's several languages in there. Next we have the camera. And it's got the plastic sheathing on it. We'll go ahead and get rid of that. And I'll back this up a little bit so you can see this camera. It's, compared to my hand, it's pretty small. I'll show you a better picture of that in a minute after we do the unboxing. Sorry about that glare. So what else do we have in the box here? We have a wall mount. You guys know how I feel about these. I don't use them, but they are getting more better made. We also have a tie strap. And we have a USB cord. And that is everything that's in the box. So next we're going to go ahead and take a look at the camera a little bit better, and then we'll go ahead and go over the specs of the camera. And then after we do the specs, we'll go ahead and do the setup. So let's go ahead and get a closer look at this camera. All right, everybody, you have to see what was in the unboxing. You got to see everything that came with the camera. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the specs. We have a IP66 waterproof rating. We have a triggering distance up to 65 feet. We have a trigger speed of 0.1 seconds. The camera can take up to a 30 megapixel picture. Also takes video in up to 4K. This camera does have a Wi-Fi connection, and that does not mean it's cellular, so it will not send pictures over your data plan. Wi-Fi means you can only connect it to your phone when you're within a certain distance of your phone, and I believe it's only within like 40 feet, and you will have to have Bluetooth enabled. Those are just a few of the specs that come with this camera. And I'd also like that it does have built-in solar panel. Those are some of the specs. So we're going to go ahead and go over the setup of the camera now, and hopefully by the time we're finished this, you'll be able to take it out of the box, set the camera up, and you'll be ready to put the camera out in the field to take pictures. All right, guys, before we get into the setup, I just wanted to give you a look at this camera. You can see it has a nice... First of all, I'd like to just mention that this is all one unit. It's all molded, one piece. Got the solar panel on top. Got a little bit of an angle on the solar panel. Has a screw for a screw mount on the back. Also has a spot for your tree strap, which you might be able to see right there through there. And also has a cable lock hole, so you can put a cable lock around it and put it on a tree. That's just a few things I wanted to show you about this camera before we dug into the setup. But all in all, it's a nice looking camera, pretty compact. I'm liking the looks of it already. Well, that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and get right into the setup. And we'll go down the list one at a time. I'll show you the settings that I like. Your settings might be different, but at least this will get you started if you're new to trail cameras. All right, first thing we're going to do for the setup, guys, is we're going to open this camera, and you'll see it has two locks right here on the side. And it opens up. You'll see the warning label. You might want to read that before you get too far into it. Next thing we're going to do is we have a micro SD slot right here. So we're going to slide a micro SD card in there. So after we have the camera open and the SD card in, we're going to turn the button to settings. There's three settings. There's off, on, and in the middle is setup. This camera is not very clear, or the instructions are not very clear on how to get to the menu, but I had noticed if I press this twice, the menu does pop up. So it's this top button right here. You want to press it twice, the menu comes on. The first menu is mode. I know you cannot see this too good because of the glare, but we're going to hit OK. It gives you three options: photo, video, or photo and video. I always set mine to video, so we're going to leave it at video. We're going to push OK. Then we're going to go to the down arrow, and we're going to go to PIR interval. PIR interval is set at 30 seconds. Sometimes this is a good setting. Sometimes I put mine at a minute, but for now we're going to leave it at 30 seconds. And the PIR interval just simply means that when you have this camera set up and an animal or something walks in front of this camera, that it's going to trigger. It will record that till it stops. And then there will be a 30-second delay before it will actually trigger again and start recording the next thing that walks in front of this camera. So we have it on 30 seconds. We're just going to leave it at 30 seconds. We're just going to push the down arrow, and we're going to PIR sensitivity. And we're going to press OK. And you can see it gives us three options. We get a high, a medium, and low. PIR sensitivity just means that how lightly something needs to go in front of this camera for it to trigger. I usually leave mine on medium. But if you're out in a flat field and there's no grasses, nothing moving in that field, you can definitely set it on high. If you have a lot of grasses and stuff in an area where branches might blow and trigger this camera, you might want to set it to medium or low. And for now, I always leave mine at medium, so we're just going to leave it at medium. We're going to hit OK. And then we're going to hit the down arrow. We're going to hit the down arrow, and we're going to go to Timelapse. We'll open up Timelapse by pressing OK. And you can see here, you can leave this on or off. I have never used Timelapse before, and I don't plan on starting today, so we're just going to leave it set to off. We'll hit the OK button. We'll go ahead and hit the down arrow, and that'll take us into loop recording. We'll go ahead and press the OK button to take us into loop recording. We have two options. We have on and we have off. So what loop recording means is if you leave this camera in the field for a long time and the SD card gets full, loop recording will delete the oldest file so that it can record over that file and continuously keep recording. I'm going to leave mine off. I usually don't leave mine out in the field that long. I usually check on them at least once a month. But if you plan on leaving it out there for a long time, or you're in an area where you do get a lot of pictures and you're constantly filling up your card, I would suggest turning loop recording on, or a better option might just be getting a bigger card. So I'm going to leave mine off. We're going to press OK, and then we're going to hit the down button again. Now we're at IR LED. And to get in there, again, we're going to press the OK button, and you'll see we have four options: auto, medium, low, and off. And the IR LED just means that it sets the brightness to the conditions that is needed at that time. And I think auto is a good option. We're going to leave it at auto, and we're going to go ahead and press the OK button. Then we're going to hit the down arrow again, and we're going to go to low bat night shot. We're going to hit the OK button. And we have two options: no IR LED or no shuttering. So what this mainly means, if you have it on no shutting, the camera will not take pictures or videos under low power conditions. If you have it to no IR LED, it'll take all black photos and videos after the wild game is triggered. under low power conditions. So even though this is a solar powered camera, you're always going to want to use batteries in this, because if you just have it set with no batteries in this camera will run with no batteries just by the solar power. But if the internal battery runs down at night, it may not take a nighttime picture because it is not set up. It does not have enough power to actually take that photo, because the IR LED, the lights on this thing, does consume a lot of power. I'm going to leave it on no shutting. We'll hit OK, and then we're going to go back up to the down arrow, which takes us to monitoring period. And then we'll go ahead and press the OK button. We have two options. We have on and we have off. Monitoring period just simply means you can set a timer for start time and you can set a timer for stop time. So if you just want your camera to take pictures from like 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., you can set that up on a time like that to where it only takes pictures during those times. I do not want anything like that, so I'm going to leave that off. So I'm going to press the OK button, and then we're going to hit the down arrow, and that should take us back up to mode. And it did. So right above mode, you'll see 4 symbols. We was just in the settings, so now we're going to go up to the camera button. The over button shows us the camera settings, which is image size. So we're going to press OK. So we have 2 megapixel, 4 megapixel, and I'm sorry my finger's going to be in the way. We're going to need to hit the up arrow. This goes all the way up to 30 megapixels. And we bought a 30 megapixel camera, so why not use it? We're going to put OK to 30 megapixel. And then we're going to use the down arrow to go to picture number. We're going to press OK. Now this is simply, if you have it in photo mode, you can choose how many pictures you want it to take. If you just want it to take one picture, it'll take one picture. If you want to do a photo burst of 2, 3, or 4 pictures per something triggers this camera, you can do that also. I have noticed with other cameras that if you do the photo burst, first picture looks really clear, the second, third picture is usually dark. I have not tried it with this camera yet, but I will be doing a review on how this camera performs, but that will be after I've got it in the field and have been able to test it for a while. So I'm just going to leave it on one shot. I'm going to push OK. Then we're going to hit the down arrow to shutter speed. We're going to press OK. We have it at 1/30th right now, but there's 3 options, 1/15th, 1/20th, and 1/30th. I don't know a whole lot about cameras on the trigger speed. I know it's faster, slower. I'm going to leave it on the default, which is 1/30th. Just going to press OK. And then we're going to go up to the over arrow, and we're going to go to the video settings. For video, we have, let's press OK first. We have a 4K setting, a 2K setting, 1296p30, and a 1080p30. I'm going to go up. I'm going to give the 4K setting a try. And then we'll press OK, go down. We're going to press OK. Now here you can change the length of your video. I have messed with this on other cameras, and I have found out the perfect setting for me is 15 seconds. Any longer or any shorter than that, you get a lot of empty video because usually the animal just walks by the camera. I'm sure there's always going to be a video where you're going to be saying, oh, I wish I'd have caught a few more seconds of that video. And there's going to be a lot of times when you're going to say, oh, I caught too much of that video, caught a bunch of nothing. Also, if you remember, we have this on 4K settings, so it's going to take up a lot of SD card space. So 15-second video I think is pretty good. We're going to give that a try. I may come back and change that later, but most of my cameras are either on 10 or 15 seconds. So we'll hit OK. We're going to hit the down arrow again, which is record audio. We're going to hit OK. Guys, if you have never had a camera that records audio, you don't know what you've been missing. The cameras out there now take pretty good audio capture, which makes you be able to hear the sounds that's in the picture. I always leave this on now. I mean, I have a few cameras that does not audio capture, but to me, this is a must-have now. So I'm going to hit OK. Next, we're going to go over one more spot by hitting the over button, and that takes us to settings. Language we set up in the beginning. That's set to English. We're going to go down to default setting. Default setting is if you click on that, it'll take you back to the default settings of the camera before you set it up. Now we're going to go down to format. We're going to hit OK. This says all data will be deleted if you hit OK. We do not want to format the card in the camera, so I'm just going to hit OK to cancel it. Best thing to do is always, when you go to check your card, turn off your camera, take out your card. I always carry an extra card with me. I replace the card and I turn the camera back on. If you're going to reformat the card, take it home to your PC, download the pictures off the card, then reformat your card. That way you know you don't lose any pictures. I have my format off, so now we're going down to date and time. We're going to hit OK. You can see we have the date set up for 2022, January 14th. We're going to hit go over. January the 14th. Here's our date and time. 5:35 p.m. right now. This is in military time, so that would be 1700 hours. Go over. We'll set it for 35 minutes. And then the seconds we'll just leave go. Press over. Over again. And this is what I wanted to see. I wanted to change this. I do not like having my year first, so we're going to change that to OK. Push OK again. Yep, messed up there. Got out of there too fast. Let's try up. I like to see the months, the day, then the year. So now you can see we have January 14th, 2022, 17:35 is the time. So now we're going to press OK. And now we're going to go down. The next section is AA battery. Press OK. There is no OK button for that one. The AA battery, I have no idea what that means. So we're just going to press down. Time format. I'm going to set mine to 12 hours to get it off of military time. We'll push OK. Date stamp is the next section down. And date stamp just means that it'll put a stamp on your video or your picture showing you what time and the date that that picture or video was taken. We're going down to beep sound, and you've been hearing this beeping all along. We're going to hit OK, and we're turning that off. The last thing you want to do when you put this out in the field is to keep having all them beeping noises going off while you're setting up your camera. Hopefully, though, you set it up before you got out to the field. So let's go ahead and hit OK with off. Here you can name this camera. We're going to go OK. And right now the name is T300, and I'm fine with that. You can put in any name you want just by hitting up and down and over arrows. But T300 is OK. Then we'll hit the down arrow for password setting. And we'll hit OK for this. Password setting is off. And I don't have a password set on any of my cameras. And for the reason is, I don't see any use to have a password. It says to set up a password to protect the camera. Now, if somebody takes your camera and you have a password on it, they will not be able to mess with any functions on your camera. They can always take your card out, look at your card, and they have your card. And if I ain't mistaken, they could probably shut it off, turn it back on, and refer to default settings. So I'm just going to leave mine off, and I may mess with the password in the future, but right now I always leave mine off. So I'm just going to hit OK. We're going to hit the down arrow. Now we have Bluetooth. We're going to hit OK. And this is user preference. You can leave it on, you can leave it off. Like I was saying in the beginning, this is a Wi-Fi enabled camera, which not cellular. It will not send pictures over your data plan to your phone. This will only work with Wi-Fi when your phone and your camera are within like 40 feet of each other. A good setup for this would be like if you put your camera up high, you didn't want to have to climb up there and check it all the time. You could just walk to the base of the tree, push Bluetooth, make sure it's connected, and download the pictures to your phone. I find it a whole lot easier just to go up, change my card, replace the card, and take my card out with me. I always leave Bluetooth off, so I'm going to hit OK. Now, if you're using this for security, like outside of your house, of course you'll want to leave Bluetooth on, so it'll always be connected to your phone. Wi-Fi SSID. This is just the ID of the camera for your Wi-Fi. I'm not even going to mess with that. I'm just going to leave it alone. Here you can enter a Wi-Fi password. Again, I'm not going to use Wi-Fi. I'm going to leave it alone. If you wanted to use Wi-Fi, go ahead and set one up. Auto Wi-Fi on just means, like it says, when you get done using your Wi-Fi, you walk away from your camera, the Wi-Fi connection will shut off in 1 minute. Auto power off. This camera will automatically shut the screen off after 3 minutes. You've already seen it shut off a couple times. You can change that time by hitting OK. Set it to what you want. To me, 3 minutes seems fine. Wasn't too great for this video, but it's working out okay. Backlight just simply means, let's press OK. The backlight will turn off, which is the menu screen. It will turn off after 1, 3, or 5 minutes, whatever you set it at. I'm just going to leave it at 1 minute. And the last two things are the camera version and a place for updates. And I'm just going to hit my menu button, go back to the main screen. One more thing I want to show you guys while you're here. Right back behind here is your battery housing where your batteries go. Now I have not did anything to this camera. since I got it. I took it right out of the box and started filming this video. So the whole time I was filming this video, which is roughly 15 minutes long now, did not have any batteries in it at all. So it will operate without batteries. Alright guys, that was the unboxing, some of the specs to this camera, and also the setup. Again, this is the Campark T300. If you're interested in this camera, a link will be down below. Now that link is an affiliates link, so it will give me a little bit of kickback at no additional cost to you. Also, if you're interested in this camera, like I said, the link will take you directly there, but if you don't use the link and you go directly to Campark, I believe this camera is listed as the T150. Well, that's going to be it for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I know setup on these cameras, the videos are a little boring, but it does help a lot of people. And that's going to be the end. As always, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, especially if you found it helpful. Maybe you didn't like the video, but you just liked me. Go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And as always, I hope everybody has a great day, a great week, and I will see you next time.